today is we're going to shoot the history of Corvettes. So let's go do it. Okay, we're going to start with this one, which is awesome. It's a 1957 modified Paul Reinhardt Corvette race car. I mean, this thing is pretty cool. It has a 283 V8 modified 300 horsepower engine, transmission 4-speed, and original base price on this thing was $3,200. Okay, next up is this beautiful 1958 custom Corvette that was actually done for the 1962 Seattle World's Fair. It also has a 350 horsepower with a 700 automatic transmission. The original base price on this was $3,600. Next up is 1962 Corvette race car. It's a Tad Davis Tribune. And this one has 327 cubic D8 Rochester fuel-injected engine, 4-speed manual. Oh, we're moving up in price now. Original base price on this thing was $4,100. Okay, next up on our list is a 1963 Transport Tim Allen project. So this car was actually built for Tim Allen, the actor. And it has 550 horsepower, 5-speed transmission, and we're moving up in price. We're all the way up to $5,000 now. Next up is our 1966 Corvette Silver Ghost, and this is the L88 prototype. One of the interesting things I found with this is it has a 36.5 gallon tank. So it was built for long races, and it has 425 horsepower, 4-speed transmission. Okay, again, we have 67 Corvette Stingray. I'm sure the prototype had a lot to do with this one. It has 300 horsepower, 2-speed powered glide automatic, and resold price was $2,750, and original purchase price was $2,500. Next up is a 1963 split window Corvette Stingray, 340 horsepower V8, 4-speed manual. One of the things I really like about this is the vanity plate in the front's kind of cool. Wish I could get that put on mine. Next up on our list is a 1967 Baker modified Stringway convertible. Now, I love convertibles, but this one has 600 horsepower, 4-speed manual. Original price is still $4,500. Can you imagine? We would be lining up to buy these things if we knew the value today. But yeah, I love this car. I love the color on it. Next up on our list is a 1968 Corvette L88 Roadster, and this is actually one of 20 Roadsters that were built that year. It has 430 horsepower, but they're claiming the actual horsepower was 540 to 580. And boy, we're starting to get expensive now. Price is all the way up to $6,500. Next up was a 1970 Corvette Stingray convertible. I'm a convertible man, love convertibles. This one had 350 horsepower, 4-speed manual. Wow, we're dropping down in price now, $5,200. All right, 1973, another Corvette Stingray, 250 horsepower on this, 4-speed manual. Base price was $5,600. Kind of reading the history of this car, and it was bought for their mother, who was actually battling cancer and won her battle with that. But that to me is kind of special because that's what got me into this whole car thing, was my battle with cancer. So I like the story behind this one. It was a 1985 Rick Stark modified Corvette race car. Now we're moving up in horsepower, we're definitely moving up in price. It's a race car, so that makes sense. But 648 horsepower. Transmission is a 5-speed Richmond race transmission. Base price on this one was $25,500. All right, next up in our history of the Corvette is a 1995 Corvette convertible. Horsepower on this one was 300 horsepower, 4-speed automatic, and the base price was $36,800. Next up, 1997 Corvette Coupe. Horsepower on this was 345. Transmission is 4-speed automatic. Original base price, $38,400. Do see a lot of these rolled around. Okay, next up, 2003 Corvette. However, we have a Z06. 405 horsepower, 6-speed manual, and original price, $38,500. All right, next up, we have a 2011 Corvette Grand Sport convertible. All right, this has a 606 horsepower engine, 6-speed automatic. Our base price now, we're definitely jumping up. Base price on this was $101,000. So a lot of times, like with my Corvette, lots of modifications after we bought it. But for this particular car, Corvette offered modifications that you could order straight from the factory. So that's probably why such a big jump in the base price. All right, next up, we have a 2015 Corvette Stingray convertible and a 2014 Corvette Premium Edition convertible. So let's start with the 14 Corvette Premium Edition convertible. It has 500 horsepower, 8-speed automatic, base price of $78,000. On the 2015 convertible Stingray, we have 460 horsepower, 8-speed automatic, speed paddle shift, and $65,000 base price. Next up, we have a 2018 Black Rose convertible Grand Sport. We are looking at a V8 LT1 engine, 6.2 liters. Transmission is a 7-speed manual. Okay. Original price on this was $86,000. Okay, we're come to the conclusion of our history of the Corvette, and this is kind of special for me, but we'll start with this one. 2020 Corvette Z51 Coupe, 8-speed transmission, 495 horsepower, original base price of $70,000, and then we're going to move to our final car with the drum roll. This one's very special to me because I actually own this one, but we'll stay with the process. The 2020 Liberty Walk Corvette. Now they have the original base price listed as $70,000. I actually had to pay, I think it was $120,000 for this. So Liberty Walk called us and told us if we could get a Corvette, because this is the first year they came out, they would Liberty Walk it for us and put it in SEMA for us. So obviously we got excited and said, wow, what an offer. So we got on the phone and started trying to find a 2020 Corvette. You couldn't find them at any price. So we eventually wound up in California, and my son Chris got on the telephone one morning and started calling a bunch of dealerships. One of the dealerships said, wow, that's funny you called. Literally 5 minutes ago, I just hung up. Somebody refused delivery. And Chris said, we'll be there, we'll be there, we'll be there. So we dashed down there. We got there at 10 to 5, and they said, we have a bunch of people that want this, and you're gonna have to pay for it now. Oh man, we had to find a bank with 10 minutes left. We just happened, there was a bank across the street. We dashed across the street, we get the money, we come back. We were able to buy it. While we were buying this car, somebody comes into the office and actually offered me $20,000 more than what if I would walk away from it and let them buy it. But we had the whole Liberty Walk thing going on, so we said, no, we're gonna stay with what we're doing. And here's the result. You have a beautiful Liberty Walked wide-bodied Corvette. First one in the world, actually, to be Liberty Walked. And we've done a lot more modifications since then. As he walks around and films the car, you'll see in the back we have a very special exhaust that we had put on, I think like a week before we brought it up here. Okay, so we got approached from Valve Master and said, we don't have our exhaust on a Corvette. We'll put one on for you so that we can use it kind of to show off. So of course we said yes. And wait till you hear this thing. This car sounds amazing with this exhaust on there. And they even put our supercar driven logo on the exhaust, which I thought was really cool of them. But this actually, I don't think I mentioned that. This is a convertible. Top folds back down into the back and it becomes a convertible, which I've mentioned multiple times. I love convertibles. And Wrench Monkey put on an air ride system for us. So we have the car lifts up and sets down, and that's from air ride. Fantasy Colors did the body work for us. They are amazing. Probably, if not the best car painter on the planet, he's certainly one of them. So if you ever have some really quality paint jobs that you want done, contact Fantasy Colors. When I first bought this, before we had Liberty Walk put the kit on it, that's obviously what it looked like, just like that. And then this is what it looks like with the Liberty Walk wide body kit on it. But before I had that done, I actually did a full review on this car. So if you scroll down in our videos, you'll find the review. And Corvette saw that and actually called me. They really, really liked the review that we did on that. So yeah, I have people ask me all the time, because we have so many cars, what's your favorite? And it's like trying to pick your favorite kit. I mean, how do you do that? But to drive, in a lot of ways, this is kind of my favorite. I mean, Corvette entry into the supercar world with moving to this mid-engine, they really nailed it with this car. And it's just too much to try to list in this video, but go check out that other video. I go into great detail about this particular car. Okay guys, we're back at LeMay to pick up our Vette. It's been here for about 6 months. I actually really missed driving it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe and like button.